Hey friends, welcome back to the Guitar Max channel. And I've been checking out this Fender Player II Modified Stratocaster lately. Nice, cool Fender Strat, but with some modern features like a Floyd Rose bridge and of course the humbucker in the bridge position. And it's a really cool guitar, but I kind of feel like it's a little bit too expensive for what you're getting. And why do I say that? Well, I'm the affordable guitars guy, right? And one of the things I'm always talking about is how we're in the golden age of affordable guitars and how in the past 10 years or so the advancements in guitar manufacturing have gotten to the point where you can get an incredibly great guitar for much less money than you used to have to spend. And this guitar is such a great example of that because while this is still a very good guitar, it's not as good as my signature guitar from Harley Benton, and this guitar costs less than half of what this one does. Okay, now look guys, honestly, I don't think I have to work that hard to convince you that this is a better, not only better guitar, but a much better deal than this one is here. It should be, I think the guitars will speak for themselves. And look, I'm not trying to bash Fender here. They made a good guitar with this one right here, and a lot of their other guitars are really good as well. But this is the big problem that the established brands have run into. You can't just rely on the name and the reputation of the older brands, right? When these newer, younger companies have come onto the market and they've really maximized the efficiency in their manufacturing to the point where you can get an incredibly great guitar like this one with some really cool, kind of unique features for just a fraction of what the price would be with a traditional company. Now look, I'm talking about the hollow flash finish version of my signature guitar with Harley Benton. So this is the Guitar Max Fusion Signature with a holographic top, but you could swap this guitar out really for any guitar, I think, from the Harley Benton Fusion series. So that's kind of like their Super Strat type body shape and layout and everything. And look at the features that you're getting for that price, right? Like I said, the price is around $500, and sure, depending on where you live, you're going to have to pay some shipping charges and things like that. So even if we push it to like $550, $600, again, that's like half of what this one costs. This one here, you've got extra jumbo stainless steel frets. You've got a roasted maple neck and fretboard. You've got the Floyd Rose 1000 series. You've got coil splitting on these Tesla pickups. And you've got a really cool, unique finish with this holographic top here, okay? And obviously, you don't have to get the holographic top if you're not looking for that 80s throwback style, which I absolutely love. But you can do like the purple burst, or we've got a walnut top, or there's the original version of the guitar which has a really beautiful flame green burst on it. You compare that to this guitar, which has some pretty standard solid color options, kind of pearl metallic colors, but still pretty standard. The Floyd Rose Special Bridge, which is not nearly as nice as the 1000 series. You don't get any of the roasted woods that you do on the Harley Benton Fusion series, and you've got smaller frets on this guitar, and I would argue these pickups don't sound as good as the Tesla pickups. So look, we're going to play both of these guitars, and I want you to listen closely to what they sound like, and you tell me which one you think sounds better. And if you think the Fender sounds better, does it sound double the price better? Are you willing to pay twice as much for this guitar compared to this one? Anyway, we'll listen to this stuff and then we'll talk more about the playability and the two guitars on their own. So let's go ahead and plug these in. But of course, guys, real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, checking out cool new guitars, especially affordable stuff, and staying up on all the latest news in the guitar universe, and you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. Okay, let's plug these in and see how they compare. Okay, now one thing I do want to say about the Fender here is that this is a really nice feeling guitar. The traditional Strat body and also the neck profile, everything about this guitar is comfortable. It's a really comfortable guitar to play, easy to get around on. And if you look at the Harley Benton Fusion series, a lot of the things that make the Fender comfortable you also have on here. Like both of these guitars and all of the Fusion stuff from Harley Benton have the satin finish necks. These are also both bolt-on construction guitars here. These ones have a nice shaped neck joint, and the Fender has a kind of a traditional block neck joint. And on both guitars, the frets are finished very, very nicely. Fender did a good job, Harley Benton did a good job. But these frets are bigger, and because they're stainless steel, they're not going to wear out like the traditional nickel steel frets will. There's also other versions of the Fusion guitars, even with my signature models, right? This is something, you know, a little bit less 80s, a little bit more traditional, the Flame Green Burst. This was the first version we came out with. But it still has the same pickups and the Floyd Rose 1000 series bridge and the coil splitting with the mini switch down here. The Fender actually has coil splitting too. You just pull up this tone knob down here, but you don't have quite as many options with it because you can really only split the coils on the bridge pickup. These are already single coil pickups up here, like in the neck position. So the coil splitting really doesn't do anything with that. Now, let me ask you guys, when you listened to the demos, which guitar did you think sounded better? The Fender pickups are definitely not as hot. They're lower output compared to the Harley Benton with the Tesla pickups. But that's not always a good thing. For the kind of playing I like to do, Hot pickups are good. It makes the guitar more responsive. You kind of use less effort when you're playing, so I think that enables you to play faster for longer with your hand, without your hand getting tired. But some people argue that the lower output pickups, like on the Fender, kind of give a more nuanced tone, a richer tone. I've had a lot of fun lately comparing my signature guitars to other big brands, right? Like obviously I'm comparing it to a Fender right here. I also did a video comparing it to the Badlands Hollow Flash model. Now that video is a little bit more extreme because you're looking at a guitar that's made in the USA, costs $2,500 in the case of the Badlands, compared to a guitar that's, you know, 1/5 of the price. This guitar here, it's still quite a bit more expensive, but not nearly as much as the Badlands. But this is still an import guitar though. Even though it says Fender on the headstock, these models are made in Mexico. So we're comparing two import guitars to each other, which I think is a little bit more fair. But look, this is the big thing, guys. What do you think about this comparison? And for the people that own these guitars in this video, what do you think about the guitar from your personal experience? Anybody that owns one of these Fenders, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And if you own one of my signature guitars or one of the other Harley Benton Fusion guitars, tell me, how has that guitar compared to the other guitars that you own? I'd love to read that stuff down in the comment section below. All right, guys, so I'm looking forward to reading those comments, and everything I was talking about in the video, I will have links for in the video description, and I will also pin some stuff in the comment section. Thanks a ton for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you very soon.